welcome back to Clown's Garage. Welcome back guys to Clown's Garage. In this video, I'll be replacing the struts on this 4th generation Trans Am. So we're going to do the driver's side in this car, and that's the part number from MEVOTECH, the strut mount. And that's what it looks like. Also comes with nuts and end links for the front, springs. These are the co-spring part number from Moog 60114, and we're putting in Koni Reds, and that's the part number right here for that, and this is what that looks like. And it also comes with this cap and this over here. So let's begin. These are 13/16. And the last one. Now take the caliper off and put it to the side. You grab a channel lock and hold it over here inside. And these are 12mm bolts, sliders. And just take that off. Now this just slides up and you can pop that out. Just like that. And have a hook over here that you could put this in. Just hang it off to the side. And over here, this is what I grabbed with the pliers. So you hold that and you zip out that bolt. Now for the VSS sensor, there's a connector here. Put a little flathead in there and just twist it. And that just pops up. And it comes out. Alright, so I'm going to take the end link off. It's a 1/2 inch on the bottom and a 13mm on top. And she's off, baby. Off on the bottom, and this stuff over here. Now the shock lower mounting bolts, it's a 1/2 inch over here and a 15 on top. Comes right off. Now the other side, 1/2 inch again and 15 on top. And just pop that out. Now, over here, the upper ball joint, take that cotter pin out. Try to straighten out this cotter pin. And grab it from behind, baby. It's a 15mm. And take that off. Now take this ball joint remover tool. You can get this, I'll put the link in the description below where to get this. So this slides in, slide in from the side. Alright, so 15/16 up there. It's kind of tight, this tool in there, but it should work. You can hear a pop. Just like that. And she popped out, baby. Woo! Alright, now everything's loose here. All we gotta do is there's 2 bolts and 2 nuts on top we gotta take off. And this will come out. So let's go on top now. Now there's 2 T50 Torx headed bolts over here in the back. There's different ways of doing this. You could actually take off the master cylinder, just the two nuts in the back, take it off and slide it to the side to get to this bolt. We're going to try to do it with this Allen Torx T50 and see if that works. If not, we might just have to take that off. So we'll try both ways. So this one here, let's pop that off. Okay, that comes right off. Alright, slide that in here. And it's loose. Now just gotta figure out if we could unscrew that all the way. So we decided taking that Torx bolt off is a pain like that because it'll take forever, and also installing it back in will be a pain. So the best shot here is take this master off. There's a 15mm nuts back there. You put a deep socket on there and zap that bitch off. Just like that, and let it fall on the floor, baby. And now the other one. Hopefully this doesn't fall down either. Also, it's gonna fall, I know it's gonna fall. Ah, son of a. Gotcha. Alright, now over here, there's a sensor. So just pop the clip and pull it out. Just like that. Put some rags back here so I don't scratch up the firewall. Let's move this a little bit more out and away using a pry bar. Okay, almost had it. Just like that. Now it's totally off the studs. Now you can just grab it and move it out of the way just like that. Pop this in there. And put a ratchet in there. And I'm going to use somebody's help to hold that master out of the way and just take that off. And that comes right out. And just so you guys know, you let go of this. It's fine to bend these lines just a little bit. Nothing's gonna happen to them. So that's all good now. Now these are 15mm nuts. Alright, now these are loose, so I'll go underneath now and take this strut out. Now you grab her from down below and you yank her off. And that's everything, folks. Now this is what it looks like when it comes out. This is all rusted up, so you gotta bang it a little bit and it all comes apart. That's what it looks like. You got a little rubber bushing up here. You can leave that in there. It stays in like that. Okay, one thing I like to do is just put everything back together. You can put the top back on. And I have a marker. I'll come down here. I'll make a mark down here. How this is sitting in relation to this. Just so I know to line this up, especially the bottom. The bottom has to be like this, facing upwards. So I just put one mark all the way down. Now what we gotta do, we gotta take the spring off, because there's a rubber isolator on the bottom, we want that. We don't have that. So that's what we gotta take off now. You can spray some butter sauce up here, all over here. Let it soak in. This is the Strut spring compressor I'm going to use. That's the part number 57036. And this is from AutoZone. This is from the free rental tool program. Get this for free. And it comes with these. A pair of these. Actually, the third one. Yeah, there's a third one and not third one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to unscrew this nut just a little bit. We'll have a couple threads showing on top just to make the spring a little less tension on it. So go ahead and do that. Alright, so we're going to try to put the threaded one on top. Get a pry bar here and loosen it up. Hold on. Okay. Alright, put that in there. Now the bottom one. There you go. Now put the rod through. Put some butter sauce on this too. A little bit of butter sauce makes everything going smoother. Okay, so let's put it in. Now we're going to put the other side in. There you go. I almost took out my helper's hands. Alright, now the bottom one. Okay. Now same thing, just thread this in. Now also make sure these pins are pushed in on both sides. Now the key here is you don't want this cocked on either side, so going up you have to compress it same time on both sides. So go ahead now and do that. As you can see, you got some space up here, so that means the spring is compressed enough for you to pop this off. Okay, now we're going to pop this nut off. Like that. Sometimes this is rusted on there, it doesn't come off. Let's try our luck. Oh my god, it came off. If it doesn't, just go in here with a hacksaw or a sawzall and cut that off, and this will pop right off. Now this comes off just like that, and this is what we're looking for. That's what we're after, baby. Okay, now you can undo these. And these just come off. Now, this is the new shock, the Koni. Put this on the bottom. Sits just like that. Put the rubber isolator that you got. Take the bouncer off. Pop this in. Hammer that in. Go around with it. And make sure it's even all around. Just like that. Then put this back on. Put this back on. Put the washer on top. The small part of the spring goes on top. The big one goes on the bottom. And to index this right, this end of the coil has to sit right here. That's how you index the coil. It should sit right there. Okay, so this is the reason why you put the white marks. If you see the old shock, this is pointing like this. But now what I have there, it's the other way around. So I gotta move this around. Okay, now it's pointing to the same side as that. And now this, the new one, has to point like that. Okay, just like that. So make sure also, same thing over here, you index it, the coil on top, it sits right there. So I'm just going to make a mark here, just like this one, to make sure everything is aligned just like that. Alright, so this is about aligned. Just make a mark just to... Alright, so that's about right. That's how it should be. Now we're going to put the spring compressor on. The spring compressors. Also, one more thing here. There's a rubber piece in here, a rubber bushing. You gotta pop that out and put it on the new one. Just like that. So these actually go in easily now, and just put it like the way we did it last time. Just like that, and tighten that up. And now put this on. Make sure the lines all match, all align. And now the top, we still need to compress it some more. We're almost there. Okay, so we compress the spring down some more. We got the top nut on. I'm going to go ahead and tighten this nut down. Over here I'm going to put a little bit of dielectric grease, some silicone lube, just so when I tighten this down, it should slide in right there in the groove. Now with the close spring compressed, I'm going to tighten this down. Now we loosen this up. Now to pop these off, you got to put the pry bar and slide them out. One thing to note also, when you tighten the top nut, don't go all the way down with it, go halfway so the close spring doesn't have too much tension on it. Also, if you come over here, as you can see, it slid right in over here. The grease helped. Now we're going to use the same trick here. Use a pry bar, open up the coil spring to pop these out. So I'll just show you one, and the rest we're going to do on our own. I'll go ahead and do the same thing with the other ones and just pop them out. Okay, now we got all the coil spring compressors off. I'm going to tighten this down as much as it goes. That's good. Now here's an issue you're going to encounter when you put this setup together. When you put this back on, these don't align here. So when you try to put the bolts in, they're gonna go in crooked, and you're gonna risk stripping this in here. So what I do here is I ream this out, this hole a little bit, so we could put the bolts through. So I'm going to ream these two holes out. Now I'm just going to rim these holes out to become a little bigger. So the reamer wasn't enough, so what I did was I used a marker where I want to take off. See the white part? And I'm using a carbide bit just to go in there and to slot this a little bit more. Take some more material out of here. Alright, so now these go in nicely. Now, note, what happened on the other side when we put these in, we were tightening these down, and these were spinning in the bore over here. So what we did was we drilled these out, we got rid of the threads, and we just put bolts in, nut and bolt. So you might have to do that too. Alright, now we're going to put this in. I'm going to have somebody on top catch these bolts, the studs with some nuts, once I put it in the holes. So, in she goes, baby. Alright, so I got these in. I didn't have to drill anything or put other bolts on here. It's a little weird though when you first try to catch them on. You're supposed to catch them on a couple threads by hand. I caught like maybe a thread on each one, but look, it was laser straight. So I crossed my fingers and I drilled them down. I sent them, and they're actually good now. They're nice and straight. So I got lucky on this side, but like I said, the other side I had to drill out the inserts and put bolts in. So this is good. And now this one. And that's good. Now tying these down. And that's good. Now grab the master and put it back on the studs. There goes one. And it's on. And that's tight. And that's tight. Now put a jack under the control arm, jacked it up, and a pry bar over here. Move that in. And let me see if I could get this bolt in. Yeah, just like that. And she's in. That's one bolt. Put a nut on it. Put a pry bar right in here. See if I can move this over a little bit. Yeah, just like that. It's going in. Just gonna hammer that in too. Now, I'll put some red thread locker on these threads also. Now tying this down. And now the side. Now push the spindle in and the ball joint right through there. Just like that. And catch the nut. If you're lucky, you'll catch a nut. Oh yeah! What the hell? What the hell was that? And line up that hole. Put the cotter pin through. Grab it with my dikes. And cut that one off. You good? Put a new end link in. That's the part number. For Moog. These pop in here, just like that. So pull the washers in there. And let's go on the car and put these in. And this one just goes in there, like that. Alright, now this goes in like this. And we're going to have somebody move the sway bar with a big pry bar out of the way to give some clearance. Just like that. Pop this on there, then this on here. Oops, sorry, wrong way, like this. And then this has to go under there, just like that. And then the top screws in. Now I jacked the car up, so it's mimicking that it's on its weight. About 15mm sock in the bottom and a 5/8 wrench on top, and crank her down. That's enough. This should tell you should have 2 to 3 threads showing up on top. Put the vehicle speed sensor wire back on. Clips on like that. Push the piston in a little bit, both pistons, just to give us a little bit of room. And that should be good. Slide the caliper in. Put the bolt in. And tighten that down. And we're good. So that's how you replace front struts on a 4th gen Firebird / Camaro. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel, like me, and share me. See ya!